Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're just joining, please subscribe, join family. I'll be doing a lot of videos on personal stories of pregnant moms and the journey, different topics on that, just to encourage, to inspire, and to teach people, to help people be more knowledgeable about premature birth, especially in Nigeria. So please go ahead, subscribe, like, tap the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. You handle nurses and generally medical personnel while your baby is still in neonatal intensive care unit, NICU. I don't know, it's like I'm beginning to fall in love with that word. How do you handle them, especially in Nigeria, where for the most part 90%, is that a high figure? Okay, let me say 80%, or our hospitals are amazing. I'm going to use the word amazing. Let's do it like that. Amazing. How do you handle the nurses and the doctors? As a mom who has a lot of fears, worries, concerns, what do you do? Well, that's a very loaded question. And again, as usual, I'll be sharing my experience and the experience of a number of people that I've come in contact with on this journey to give an insight on what to do, how to handle them. Handle in quotes, please. How to interact with them, yes. How to interact with them and be firm on what you think should be done for your child. First of all, before we talk about handling medical personnel, we need to talk about what do you know about what your child is going through. There is a huge need for research. Now, the research doesn't necessarily have to be that you go on Google and check, but that's the first thing that comes to our mind because many times that's the only avenue that we have. However, if you know somebody who has been through the journey, it's important that at the beginning of the journey, regardless of how overwhelmed you feel by it, you need to talk to somebody who has walked ahead of you on this journey and ask all the questions, listen to the person give detailed insight into what might or might not happen, listen to the person's personal stories, and from there you can have an informed idea about what might happen or what could go on in the course of your journey, especially your stay in NICU. It's very, very important. So, but if you don't have anybody like that, you can go to Google. The reason why I won't suggest Google first is because you'll be scared out of your mind after going there. Google makes, if you have a headache and you check how to cure a headache or how to get rid of a headache, it will make you feel like it's not a headache that you have, because sometimes the information there can just be very overwhelming to an already overwhelmed mind. That's why I don't subscribe to that first. But if that's the option you have, please go ahead. Now, to interacting with them, I think it's important to be nice. It's important to be polite. Nice, I said that nice with a bit of, am I sure? Because sometimes niceness can be taken for stupidity. So you don't want to look like, oh, I'm nice, so you're taking everything that they're saying. You need to ask questions. Questions are important. My experience, I asked questions for everything. If I see that they are doing something, please, why are you doing that? And if you give me one kind of attitude, I'll give it back to you. And then I had a very good hospital, to be honest. I didn't have so much worry about, what they were doing. And even in the instances where I did, I had a doctor that was my paddy, and I could tell him my mind. I could share all of my concerns with him. He was one of the doctors who followed me from pregnancy and all the rushing to the hospital, sleeping in the hospital, going for scan. So he pretty much knew the history, right? And I always insisted, if I could, to speak to him. I didn't want to speak to a total stranger who would have to first look at my medical history and say, oh, madam, there's no need to worry. No. I wanted somebody who had walked the journey with me. So that's also something you could do. Try to make friends with the medical personnel so that even when you're not sure and someone is giving you attitude, let's face it, nurses especially, oh my God, they can be so rude and so, I don't even know, will I say mean? I mean, I know that hospital staff is overwhelmed, overworked, but then again, I have questions. I don't know. I'm not even enjoying being in the hospital with my baby or my baby being in UK. I want to care for her by myself, but I can't. So if you're caring for her, I need to know why you're caring for her the way you're caring for her. All this being said, pray. I cannot overemphasize how much prayer is important, extremely important, and totally necessary, because you pray, you must pray. You pray over everything. You pray about the kind of hospital. You pray about, my own prayer started from when I got pregnant and had to go to the hospital. And the first hospital I went to was the hospital I stuck to. Though I almost changed my mind again because of personnel. The front desk was so rude to me, and that story for another day. But I prayed, I really prayed about it, and I was like, God, direct me. And I got to the hospital and I stuck with it. And when it was time to, have the baby, I prayed for everybody that was going to be on ground, even everybody that was going to care for her afterwards. I prayed about it. And I was nice to them for the most part, because I'll be honest, there were times when I wasn't nice, I wasn't smiling, and they knew. And I wanted to know, and if you were not answering me, I was going to call your boss. You must be willing to do that. But then if you're in and I could have that luxury because I was in a private hospital, right? And I could pretty much show off in a way that, no, you can't talk to me like that. But if you're in a government hospital, how do you handle them? Pray. You pray. You look for someone, one of the staff that can be like a friend to you, that can stand with you, listen to you, be patient enough to explain things to you. If you also don't even have that again, you pray and you look for friends who have somebody like that. Because on the journey of raising a preemie baby, you're going to have a lot of questions, regardless of whether you had somebody's story or you've listened to people. You're going to have a lot of questions that they may not even be able to answer. It's only a medical personnel, whether a pediatric nurse or a pediatrician or a doctor, any of those three people, that might answer. Now, I mentioned a pediatrician because sometimes even the doctors, regular doctors, they call them GPs, so they're general practitioners, they don't have like a specialization. They might not be able to give you the answers that you seek. And it's only a pediatrician who deals with children that can tell you, or a pediatric nurse who takes care of children. In my case, God blessed me with a pediatric nurse who was on speed dial. Like anything I notice, I'm calling. Hello, sis, this is what I noticed, what's going on? Right? And it really reduce the worry, it reduced the anxiety. In fact, times when I went to the hospital and I would see my baby and I'm not sure what's going on, my doctor friend that I had made in the hospital was not on ground, was not picking calls, I would call this my pediatric nurse friend and say, sis, this is what I'm seeing, and they are giving me one kind attitude, so just tell me what exactly I'm supposed to tell them to do. Because that's the reality of what we have in Nigeria for the most part. Honestly, it's the reality. Even in private institutions, there can still be situations where you're like, what are people doing? Not to now talk of when you're in a government hospital. That one is just worse. So it's very important to pray. I used to pray that if they are going to give her 30 meals and her body is supposed to take only 20, it's 20 that they will give her. They won't try to force 30 meals down her throat. That's 30 meals of breast milk. They won't do that. If they're supposed to give her one injection, they will remember, even if I don't know it, every care that she needs, they will give on to her. They will care for her like they are caring for their own child. Those were the prayers that I was praying. It's very essential. Prayer. Prayer. Even in developed countries where, the nursing care is top notch, all of that, it's still prayer. Because someone can make a mistake or forget something or give something wrongly, or something could just go wrong while they are caring for this child, and that's not what you want. So pray when you are interacting with medical personnel, especially in Nigeria. Pray very well. In fact, pray like that's the only thing that can save your child, because really that's the only thing. And also be very vigilant, be very aware, ask questions. Why are you doing this? Why are you not doing this? Oh, you gave her this yesterday, why are you not giving her this today? They knew me. Mrs. Amao is here. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. This is what we are giving. That's why we are giving it. Okay, thank you. I needed to know. I'm the mother of the child. I can't be left unawares. I needed to know. So it's important to not just say, oh, they gave her this. No. It's not acceptable. Why did they give her? What is the point? What's it going to do for her development? Again, pray. I know that God will strengthen you on this journey. I know that this journey is going to be one that you will look back on and you'll be happy and you'll be grateful. And I pray that it will end in praise for you. You will get to go home with your baby will grow well, developmental milestones will be hit, you will not have any reason to regret. And I also pray that after you have gone through the journey, you also be able to share with others, encourage others, support them. And on the issue of support, we have a group on WhatsApp for preemie moms. If you know a preemie mom, or if you are a preemie mom and you need support, please feel free to reach out to us. I'll leave details in the description down below so that you could check it out and you could reach out to us. We're also available on Instagram. Send a DM, could ask questions. Don't feel alone. You are not alone. There are a lot of mothers in Nigeria who have gone through this journey. This journey will still be beautiful. That your motherhood journey started on a rough note doesn't mean that it will not still give you smiles. It will. I promise you it will. So stay strong, stay happy, and God bless you. Subscribe if you've not subscribed to